Spartans, we do not retreat. There are places built with walls of stone, and there are places built with warriors. Sparta was the latter. They didn't flinch. They didn't run. And when the world asked them to kneel, they chose to stand and fight. This is the code of the Spartans, and this is your call to rise. Let's begin with quote number 1. It is not the place of Spartans to retreat. It is ours to stand and fight. To a Spartan, retreat wasn't just cowardice. It was betrayal of everything they stood for. From age 7, Spartan boys were taken from their mothers and entered the agog, a brutal training program designed to kill weakness and awaken discipline. They learned how to fight, how to starve, how to suffer, but most importantly, how never to run. Because Sparta didn't raise soldiers, it raised living walls. If you stood, you lived with honor. If you ran, you didn't come back. In fact, Spartan mothers would tell their sons before battle, return with your shield or on it, meaning win or die. Now let's look at the most iconic example, the Battle of Thermopylae, 480 BCE. King Leonidas and 300 Spartans held off the Persian Empire at a narrow pass for 3 days. They were outnumbered hundreds to 1. They had no way out, and they didn't ask for one. When Persian envoys offered surrender and safe passage, Leonidas replied, "Come and take them." They stood, they fought, and when they fell with swords drawn and shields locked. Let's take this spirit forward. In World War II, during the Battle of Britain, Winston Churchill famously said, "We shall fight on the beaches, we shall never surrender." Britain was under siege, but like Sparta, retreat was not an option, because standing, even in impossible odds, is what defines warriors. Now here are 3 takeaways for you. When faced with pressure, stand firm. The world respects those who don't flinch when things get hard. Decide your hill to die on. Not every fight is worth it, but some values are. Know yours, and never retreat from them. Let action speak louder than exit. Don't run from difficulty. Face it. Because every time you stand, you become someone harder to break. Now let's move to quote number 2. Then we shall fight in the shade. This line is legendary, not just for what it says, but how it says it. At Thermopylae, when a Persian scout warned the Spartans that their archers were so numerous their arrows would block out the sun, Spartan warrior Dienekes laughed and said, "Good, then we shall fight in the shade." Understand what this is. This isn't arrogance. It's not sarcasm. It's the power of a man so prepared, so trained, so mentally clear that even death, spoken in poetic threats, can't shake him. This quote represents unbreakable mindset under pressure. You can throw darkness at the Spartan. He just sharpens his blade. Let's explore this attitude through another tale. In ancient Japan, samurai were trained to contemplate death daily. They believed that only in accepting death could one fight freely. That's exactly what Dienekes did. He accepted death, and therefore had nothing left to fear. That's freedom. Now let's fast forward. In 2014, during the Ebola outbreak in West Africa, doctors and nurses volunteered to go into the red zones, risking their lives for patients no one else would treat. When asked why, one nurse replied, "We're already living in fear. If we don't stand, who will?" That's modern shade fighting. Here are 3 mindsets from this quote. Embrace adversity with humor. Dienekes didn't just survive pressure. He smiled at it. Humor is the shield of the mentally trained. Normalize the impossible. Don't flinch when overwhelmed. Accept it. Adapt to it. Act anyway. Train your reaction to threats. You may not control what's coming, sanamut, but you control your stance. Train your instincts to stand, not stall. Now, before we move into the final quote, If these lessons are waking something up inside you, if you believe retreat is no longer an option, then stop scrolling. Like, comment, subscribe. This is Conrad Warriors, where history isn't just told, it's felt. Let's finish with the trait that made Spartans eternal. Okay, here's quote number 3. Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. Sparta wasn't built on motivation. It was built on discipline. And this quote, it's the key to the entire Spartan mindset. Because pain doesn't build a warrior. Choice does. The choice to train when tired. The choice to stay silent when tempted. The choice to fight for what's most important, not what's most comfortable. Spartans didn't just fight hard. They lived hard. No alcohol, no luxury. Even their speech was brief, sharp, and controlled. That's where we get the word laconic, or from the Spartan region of Laconia. Now let's bring this into modern light. Every world-class athlete knows this principle. Kobe Bryant trained at 4 a.m. because he wasn't choosing sleep, he was choosing legacy. Discipline made him feared, and let's go even further back. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic, once wrote, "You must build your life action by action, and be satisfied if each action achieves its goal." That's Spartan. One step, one representative, one choice at a time, leading to something greater than comfort. Here are 3 powerful applications of this quote. Delay gratification for greatness. Every time you skip short-term pleasure for long-term vision, you sharpen your warrior edge. Make your discipline louder than your emotions. Feelings come and go. Your code must not. Train your mind like a battlefield. Don't let distractions win. You're fighting for your future every single day. Now let's bring it all together. It is not the place of Spartans to retreat. It is ours to stand and fight. Then we shall fight in the shade. Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. These aren't just quotes. They're not historical ornaments. They are weapons. Forged from a culture that embraced suffering, craved challenge, and bled for something greater. The Spartans didn't survive history. They etched themselves into it. Because they didn't retreat, they didn't panic, and they didn't break, not in body and never in mind. And now the torch is in your hands. You don't have to wear a helmet. You don't need a spear. But you do need the courage to stand when you want to run, the mindset to laugh when the darkness gathers, the discipline to pursue what matters, no matter the cost. This is what it means to be a warrior. So now we ask, will you fight in the shade? Will you stand instead of retreat? Will you choose what you want most over what you want now? This is Conrad Warriors, and you are now part of the phalanx. Like, share, subscribe. Not for us, but for the warrior inside you who's been waiting to rise.